All right, let's keep moving on here. Next story up, talking about Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. And once again, maybe we can buy this Seahawks team a little bit better now, because Russell Wilson says new Seahawks offensive coordinator Shane Waldron has been, quote, super collaborative. And that's exactly what we want to hear from folks. We talk about this all the time. We want to hear input from everybody. Head coach getting input from all the other coaches and even the players. The players kind of getting into, real good contact with their offensive coordinators, telling them what they like to do, telling them what they are good at, what they're not good at, so the offensive coordinator can tailor the game to the player and not just an overall scheme that you fit players into. That doesn't work, folks. You have to see what your players do. So this is absolutely fantastic that they're being super collaborative. Absolutely love it. Let's go into this article right here and see what we're getting from Russell Wilson, what he's truly saying out here. Because I do want to talk about what they did last year offensively, because we just saw them kind of fall off decently offensively. Now, they were still winning games, but the numbers don't lie, folks. We're going to break it down in a second. The start of the season and the end of the season, the first 8 games, the last 8 games were truly just different and how they were truly winning those games. So let's see how collaborative they're being, and maybe we can buy this Seahawks team even more than we already kind of are right now. We kind of rank them maybe second in the division. We've got Rams number 1, Seahawks number 2, Cardinals a close second, and then the 49ers just obviously have to be last just because they're figuring out their quarterback situation. All right. Let's see what we get. During an interview with The Ringer's Kevin Clark, Wilson boasted. Oh, man. See, look at NFL.com, not using the word gushed anymore. We're going with boasted. Love it. Wilson boasted about how collaborative new Seahawks offensive coordinator Shane Waldron has been this offseason. Quote, I think for our offense, I'm just excited for our guys to continue to grow and make plays. It's been fun having Shane Waldron there. He's been an amazing mind, super collaborative. We've had a lot of fun and done a lot of great things and thrown a bunch of touchdowns over the last 9 years, whatever it's been. It's been amazing, the journey, and it's time to throw some more and win some more games. That's what we're excited about. We think we've got a chance to win it all, and we're going to go for it. While the comments about the new offense coordinator seem buried in the quarterback's traditional outpouring of optimism, given the context of Wilson's angst with the organization earlier this offseason, which by all accounts is water under the bridge at this point. Yes, once again, I'm glad everybody's starting to recognize that. We've been hearing from Pete Carroll. We've heard from Russell Wilson. They both said, hey, that was kind of just nothing, and we're way past it. It was like a one-day thing. We're past it. Let's move on. So glad everyone's kind of acknowledging that. What else do we get here? When we've heard only glowing assessments from Waldron's offense emanating from Seattle this offseason, from Wilson's praise to Tyler Lockett's noting that the receivers will have, quote, more freedom. Damn, yes, give those receivers freedom, folks. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. I mean, folks, these are two kind of, do I call Tyler Lockett A1 Tier 1? I call him A1. No, I call him Tier 1. I'm not calling him A1 Tier 1 just quite yet, but DK Metcalf's definitely A1 Tier 1, folks. The best of the Tier 1s, the A1 Tier 1s. All right, what else do we get here? Beyond praise for the new offensive coordinator, Wilson boasted. All right, well, now we're using the word a little bit too much here. Let's switch it up a little bit. Wilson also boasted about the potential growth of his skill players in the crowded... folks, I've got NFL... I got NFL.com trying to avoid the word gush now. Wilson boasted about the potential growth of his skill players and crowed about his offensive line? What does crowed mean? Squawking? Crowed. Make a sound expressing a feeling of happiness or triumph. Say something in a tone of gloating satisfaction. Yeah, crowed. All right. And crowed about his offensive line, a group of which he previously blamed for some of the struggles. Quote, I'm looking forward to growth for our players. DK Metcalf having another year, and we can't wait to see what that man does. Oh, my goodness. He's still such a young guy. Chris Carson being back. We're so excited to have him back out there with us, the player that he is. Gerald Everett coming from the Rams is a tremendous football player. There's so many great guys and players. Dwayne Brown has been so dominant for us ever since he's gotten here at the left tackle position. We got a new guard in Gabe Jackson who is physical, dominant, and I'm excited for Damian Lewis to move to left guard. What a player he was last year. The energy for us. I think a guy like Jamal Adams, just imagine his second year playing for the Seahawks. He was amazing last year, how he flies around the field. Bobby Wagner, there's nobody better at his position and no better leader than him. He's been amazing all these 3 years. Then you have guys like Quandre Diggs who can make all the plays. We have everything we need and everything we want, and we have to have fans, and we want to have fans back and get back after it. Yes, sir. Oh my God, he just called out his entire team. Okay, I'm buying everybody now. I'm totally buying the Seahawks team. And, like we say, Russell Wilson does kind of, gloat and gush and boast about every player. But that's just the kind of leader he is. That's why we love Russell Wilson. That's why we highly regard Russell Wilson. Do you see Aaron Rodgers doing this? Do you see Aaron Rodgers boasting and gushing about all the players on his team? No, we don't. So there is differences in how players play the game and how they are leaders on the field and off the field, and that's why we're big on Russell Wilson, baby. It doesn't matter, if you did one thing wrong or if you had a whole bad one season or if he kind of, just gets annoyed with you in one season. Hey, you're not blocking great for us. The next words out of his mouth are going to be like, hey, let's get better. Let's work on that. Let's both get it better. Not just you, but me. I can also get better as well. So that's why we are big on Russell Wilson, and we can definitely start buying the Seahawks team even more than what we already have been. Coming into this article, we maybe had this Seahawks team at maybe like probably a solid 75 out of 100. I would bump that up to 80, 85, definitely. Just everybody that he says defensively, especially with Jamal Adams, because he was kind of, I don't think he started kind of week one. I think he kind of got, a late start. Let's bring that up really quickly. And then I believe he kind of got, injured, partway through the season and missed a couple of games. How many games he played last year? He only played 12 games, folks. So he started week 1, 2, and 3 for the Seahawks, but then missed 4 straight games, and that just is going to definitely affect your overall development. Now you have, the back end of last season, this entire training camp, and then you're going to be fresh to rock here for the Seahawks team. So watch for Jamal Adams in this Seahawks defense to be even better than it was last season. Now, before we move off of this, I do kind of just want to point out the total sheer difference from the first 8 games of the season to the last 8 games of the season, and kind of why they brought in a new offensive coordinator, getting rid of Brian Schottenheimer last season. So the first 8 games, folks, this was their point totals. Now, like I said, they were still winning games. They went 12-4 overall, which is still a real great record, but the way that they won the games was different in the first half and the back half. So the first 8 games of the season, they put up 38 points, 35 points, 38 points, 31 points, 27 points, 34 points, 37 points, 34 points. I mean, folks, fantastic. If you're putting up more than 25 points in an NFL game consistently, you've got a real great chance of winning all those games. If you're putting up 30 plus points, you're basically 100% win percentage at that point, honestly. No defense is giving up 38 points consistently and winning as consistently as the Seahawks team is. So they were great scoring the ball. Now let's go over the touchdowns. What passing touchdowns Russell Wilson was doing for the first 8 games. 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. Once again, real great. 2 and above, 3 and above is even great. 2 is kind of average-ish. Any more than 2 is absolutely solid. 5, forget about it. That's total wins right there. So, I mean, they were just getting it done on the offensive side of the ball. Now let's talk about the last 8 games, folks. We'll start with point totals, and then we'll go to touchdowns. They do kind of correlate because, the more touchdowns you throw, the more points you get. But, we'll still say it. Who cares? Here we go. Last 8 games of the season, we got 16 points, 28 points, 23 points, 12 points, 40 points, great game, 20 points, 20 points, 26 points. So real just kind of subpar overall on what they were doing in the first half of the season. It's a total drop-off, and we saw that. And then just the passing touchdowns by Russell Wilson, they also went down. We had 0 touchdowns. I mean, 0, folks. What? No passing touchdowns by Russell Wilson? What are we doing? So 0 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown, 4 touchdowns. That was the 40-point game. Then 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns. So Russell Wilson not being as good as he was. The points overall offensively going down. They were still winning games. They still won their last 5 games, but that was because their defense was locking it up. Jamal Adams was kind of now healthier, getting his kind of footing back after missing kind of 4 games early on. And, he was getting it done and the defensive end, and so was everybody else on the defensive end, locking everything up. But then they get into the postseason and they only put up 20 points against the Rams. They give up 30. So once again, just the offense not being reliable on a kind of a scoring powerhouse like they were in the first half of the season. So this is going to be kind of a huge narrative we are going to be kind of following for this NFL season. Can Shane Waldron get it done, folks? Let's see, where was this man at? Shane Waldron. Let's look at this man's coaching history really quickly. Where did he come from? What did he do? First time in the pros? He's been in the pros? Let's see. Pro Football Reference. We got anything from there? No? No? Okay. Pro Football History. All right, here we go. So he's been with the Rams the last kind of 4 years since 2017. He was a tight ends coach, pass game coordinator. Ooh, when he was the pass game coordinator for the Rams in 2018, they went 13-3. Folks, that was the Super Bowl year. Unfortunately, didn't get it done in the Super Bowl, but hey, passing game coordinator, now the offensive coordinator. We love it. Then he was the pass game coordinator for the Rams in 2019, quarterbacks coach as well, and pass game coordinator in 2020 as well. So, hey, he's been getting it done. 2019, they went 9-7. 2020, they went 10-6. You can only do so much with Jared Goff, folks, and now Russell Wilson is a total upgrade over there. Before the Rams, he was with the Redskins for a year, offensive quality control coach. And then he was with the Patriots for a solid couple of years, 2002, 2003, 2004, and then back at 2008 and 2009, operations intern, operations assistant, and then scouting assistant. And then tight ends coach. So he's kind of been all over the offense side of the ball. And that's exactly what we're looking for, great success. And especially, he's been a tight ends coach. What's our big storyline going into the season, folks? Tight end university. The tight end's getting it done. Every tight end is going to be having 1,000 yards receiving this season. So this could be real great, folks. Pressure's on him, but we think he can handle it. And getting all that collaboration effort, we're big on it. So we're big on Shane Waldron. Obviously, we don't even need to say this, but obviously we are big on Russell Wilson as well. So watch out for the Seahawks this season, folks. Tough division, but if there's anybody that can get it done, it's definitely Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, and now Shane Waldron, new offensive coordinator.